Good morning and welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. I'm Prince Hakeem.
I'm Amanda Love.
And today we have a topic I think most people will debate on once you get into it. We want you to continue having these conversations. It's about what to do after the breakup. It may have some do's and don'ts in there, but it's really left up to you. We were debating off air, like what that looks like, and I have my take on it. I'm a little less traditional when it comes to things, I guess. But
I don't even know if the traditional is breaking up is such a weird thing for people.
It is. It's already uncomfortable. Yeah.
And I think some people have like do's and don'ts, and it's like very cut and dry. And then some people have like, oh, it depends on the relationship, or what happened during the relationship, or whether or not you have things in common. Like, do you have kids, or how long was the relationship? Like, how do things how do you like unravel things? Because those things take time too.
Yeah. I think, especially when you have property and things like that together, a house, a car, a dog, like pets. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the civilians in the relationship, which is the friends. So friends is always weird because they like, I don't know. And you'll really find out who like which one the most. So you see them hanging out with the other person a little bit more is because they probably didn't really rock with you too much in that relationship, or they were friends prior to the relationship with the other person. So by default, they just go on.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. So, I mean, I've had my fair share of breakups.
That sounds sad when you say it's like I had my fair share. I feel you. You've been through it. But I mean, I guess for me in a breakup situation, depends on how the breakup happens. If it was like a knockout, drag out type of like breakup, or if it was a mutual thing, it would dictate what happens after that. So we were talking about if you break up with someone and years down the line, somebody they were friends with.
So this is how that conversation came up.
Okay.
I posted something on my Facebook yesterday. I occasionally get like random questions in my inbox on Facebook, and the show will probably start. We're gonna post our email address so we could handle that a little bit different, so it's not all in my inbox.
Yeah.
But feel free. So I got this random question from a person, not gonna throw nobody's name out there because, you don't wanna put people's business out there, but the question was in reference to her dealing with somebody a few years after her and her boyfriend's breakup, her ex-boyfriend's breakup, and it was a good friend of his. And still a good friend of his, they remained friends, they grew closer, and she was talking about whether or not she should propose engaging in a more romantic relationship with this person. I clearly said not something I would do, not something I would advise, but just like I said in the video, that's an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got them.
So once again, are they still friends? Like the guy and the other guy still friends?
Yes.
I think it's up to the dude to go to his friend and be like, yo, man, listen, I'm digging your girl, like your ex.
But what was weird about it was in the message, she didn't specify whether or not her and this guy had really conversed on the topic of them being a couple or them proceeding in a relationship of that type. She presented it as though, like, if I used to date your friend back in the day and me and you remained friends, even close friends, to me, the impression I got was that if I were her, I started to like you, but you're still friends with him. So I don't know that her and him have discussed if like, oh, me and you are friends, can this go any further? Just that her and him are friends. And it could just be that they're just very good friends and she's starting to grow an attraction to him. She didn't specify.
Gotcha.
So I don't know that it's something that he is necessarily entertaining on his part. He may just see her as a friend, just a close friend of his, and just I was friends with him and I became friends with her off the strength of them being in a relationship, and then I remained friends with her and him separately. And that could be all it is for him. I don't know, because she didn't specify.
I don't think that friends should be off limits. If it's a gap in time, let me say that. It gotta be a gap in time. Like, we couldn't break up and then like a few months later y'all together. 'Cause that makes me believe that something was going on while we were together. So if it was like a gap in time, I'm talking like year, a couple years, a few years down the road, y'all kind of met back up, y'all started hanging out more, started finding the attraction. Obviously, you've changed over time, and y'all decided to make a run at it. Go ahead. The only thing I think is off limits is family members. Family members and yeah, just family members.
But why?
Because now that's messy, because it's legitimate. You injected back into the family. You were in the family, you got out of the family, now you're back in by default because you're dating the brother. That's weird.
But what I'm saying is why? Because it's very similar if you're in like a circle of friends and
friends and family is different though.
Is it?
It's very different because
that depends on the person.
Family's like, all right, this year I'll go to Thanksgiving with you. 2 years later, now you go to Thanksgiving with my brother? That's weird.
But there are legit friends that conduct themselves in their relationship as family.
I don't want to touch anything my brother touched. To me, it's just, that's weird. If my brother touched it, and he knows you intimately, and we're sitting there at Christmas dinner, and he's looking at you, and I'm looking at him like, you look at my girl, bro. I swear to God. I already know y'all had a moment in life. And
you look at her like, I know what she likes.
Yo, I already know what it is. Like, do she still do that? You know what I mean? If you touch her head, she'll do this. Did you do that? He giving me pointers. I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy wouldn't dare do that, but my brother, complete idiot. So he would definitely do that. I mean that in loving sense, but I couldn't do that. It's just kind of like, all right, if I started dating you and then we broke up and I started dating your aunt, like, would that have been cool? It's auntie. I don't want to date your aunt.
There's some people who don't even talk to their aunt.
That's weird, man. That part's weird. The friendship thing, because friends come and go. Family remains forever.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that some people conduct their relationships with their friends very similar to how they conduct their relationship. There are people who have friends for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
and it's like having a brother, or it's like, whatever. So... yeah. And they have Thanksgiving dinner with their friends, or they whatever. So how is that any different?
Because you know why? It's like, when you say it's like a family member, it's not the same. It's like one, but it's not really the actual thing. Yeah, but that's
coming from somebody who has a family. That there are people who have very small families or don't have any siblings and have had the same best friend their whole life. And that person.
But you have seen people where in a situation where you see them date someone and you're like, you're really not made for that person. You know it as a friend. I've told my friends like, yo, I don't think that's y'all. Y'all just need to go separate ways. But maybe you and another person can connect, right? And you got introduced to that person by default because you were dating this person, they introduced you to their friend. And it's like, oh man, if I had met you prior to your friend, me and you probably would have kicked it off.
So here's my thing with that. If it's new in the relationship, I start dating somebody, I'm dating them a couple of months, maybe we like each other, but it's not anything serious, and I happen to meet your friend and that person is better suited, I don't see a problem with that. Because I think if you're honest, if you're just an honest person and you're an adult enough to be honest and just say, look, this is a situation, whatever.
Yeah.
If that's a new thing. However, when I think you get into like being with somebody for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you've crossed that threshold. Like,
yeah, like once y'all established something together, right? The couple months thing, y'all really get to know each other. It's a possibility at any given moment this may not go through. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you. I think that as long as it doesn't hinder or hurt the relationship with the two friends, If my boy comes to me and be like, hey, listen, man, how you feel about Amanda? I'm like, I mean, she cool. And if I know my homeboy's dating other people too, I'm like, but like, are you like into her? I mean, we hang out. She's cool and all that, but I don't know, man. Why? Well, I actually like her. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what can happen with me and her. If you're not really into that, if you're really into her, I'm not really gonna touch it because now that's your feelings and emotions involved. But if you are like, man, do what you're gonna do, then I'm gonna make my move. And it's not sloppy at that point because the adults talked in the conversation and saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm feeling, this is what it looks like, how do you feel about it? And even if my homeboy did not want to pursue a relationship immediately with you, but he still has an interest in you, and he says, yo, I ain't cool with that, I'm not pursuing it. If my homeboy strictly tells me, I'm not feeling that, I won't do it. Why? Because that's my homie.
It's like out of respect.
Out of respect, I gotta do that.
So what if they have kids?
What about it?
Like, say, like, she has a kid with that person.
And then his homeboy ended up dating the girl.
Yeah.
Once again, I think it's about just communication.
So, like, if I dated your best friend.
Yeah.
And now my kid's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
And then.
It's weird for the kid.
Yeah.
Because I was uncle whatever.
Because now because before you were like Uncle JoJo, now you're like stepdad.
Yeah, your Uncle JoJo coming out of mama's room.
Yeah,
Uncle JoJo. Before you wasn't coming out of mama's room.
So that's weird.
That can be weird for the kid. You're just gonna have to be able to. You're gonna have to be able to justify. You have to talk to your kids. You have to talk to
messing up the kids.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would mess them up. I think you're just gonna have to talk to them about what's going on. It's like if you was dating anybody and you involve them in your kid's life, you're gonna have a conversation like, hey, you're gonna see JoJo around, and you know this is what it looks like.
JoJo's creeping out of mommy's room.
He's coming out there all wild hours of the night. And I'm hearing jungle sounds out the room.
Daddy, Uncle JoJo made me breakfast.
He's over here right now, Dad.
I'm confused. What?
Dad, why Uncle JoJo never have a shirt on at the house anymore?
Dad, Uncle JoJo leaves his slippers.
Uncle JoJo, mommy sat on Uncle JoJo's lap.
Mommy keeps Uncle JoJo's toothbrush.
Oh man.
See, now it's getting weird. It's getting messy and crazy. Now, because Uncle JoJo is all the way in, and mommy's probably being weird about talking about Uncle JoJo now.
Yeah.
And can we still call him Uncle JoJo?
I don't think you should introduce your boyfriend to your kids as uncle anything, because that makes you his sister. Which is weird.
What if he's already uncle? Because now he was the best friend or something like a couple years ago.
I think you will. To me, if you was Uncle JoJo, you will always be Uncle JoJo. You won't be Dad. You just Uncle JoJo. That is Uncle JoJo.
Uncle JoJo.
You was Dad's brother. You're not Mama's brother.
You Uncle JoJo that is around a lot more.
A whole lot more, Uncle JoJo. But I mean, I think with kids it can be a little different when they becomes adults. It's just. You're gonna have to work that out. But even still, so when you're breaking up with someone, I think when you look at what goes where, who goes with what, and all that stuff, it's really, if you can figure it out together in a civil way, not in a
so this is communication, people.
Yeah, not in a spiteful way. Like even, all right, granted, let's say y'all been dating for like a couple years, y'all acquire stuff together, like y'all bought TVs together. You bought a vehicle together. Y'all rent an apartment together. Is it both of y'all names? Who gets the apartment? Who takes the TV?
Depends on what happened.
Who takes the car?
Depends on what happened.
I said whoever can afford it. If you can afford all this by yourself,
have at it. But this is so, and that I think that goes back to like what happened. See, because ugly breakups are just that. They're ugly breakups, right? You get into a fight, somebody picks up their little fast bag.
A fast bag? What's a fast bag? What is a fast bag? I never heard of a fast bag.
Okay, so I don't have one anymore because I'm too old for that.
You had a fast bag?
Once upon a time, I had a thing called a fast bag, and that the fast bag was in the event we get into an altercation or argument or uncomfortable situation that I don't like, my fast bag was ready. The fast bag includes, it's like usually a duffel bag, kind of like a gym bag or something. It's not quite a suitcase. It's kind of like a good sized gym bag. Has maybe a few outfits, something to sleep in, toothbrush, hairbrush, toiletries, whatever. It's done. It's ready to go.
A go bag.
It's a fast bag.
Okay, fast bag. Yeah, get out fast. Okay, gotta get out fast.
Gotta get out fast.
Okay.
So it could last you. I mean, it depends on the person. It could last you a couple days. It could last you like a week. It depends on what you put in the bag. But fast bag, ready to go. So I always had a fast bag. It was in my car, usually in the trunk. And in the event that I needed to get out quickly, I was ready.
So I feel that. So what I'm saying, like, but who gets the stuff? Do you abandon it just because?
It depends on the person. So, as a disclaimer, I've never really been in a relationship where I broke up with somebody and it was like, and this is not being funny, where I broke up with somebody and it was like entirely my fault, where it was like an ugly situation and it's like Amanda did wrong, she got done. So most of the breakups I have had have been amicable at some point. Unless, I mean, I probably had one where it was the guy and it was like a bad breakup and I just left and I left my stuff. Outside of that, it's been where, you know, we've had conversations where it's been like, you can come and get your stuff and like you had a civil conversation.
Right.
But I think that also goes into like choosing people. You know what I mean? Like when you meet people and when you're kind of, I guess you would say like vetting people to have relationships with, it's about really seeing like who they are, what type of individual they are. Are they genuinely good people? You know, like if somebody meets me and I talk about my relationship with, you know, I'll use like a prominent, like my ex-husband, and they go like, oh, you know, what did you get and what did he get? And they see that even if you don't like the person all the time, or even though you guys don't get along or you had your differences, it's not like somebody was trying to like pull the rug out from the other person. Like, oh, I'm gonna leave your ass homeless.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'm gonna take everything from you. Oh, I'm gonna beat you in the head and take your retirement and all your money. Like, it's not like that. And that says something about that individual as a person. So in that case, not to say I'm the most awesome person in the world, because I'm not saying that at all. But in that case, you meet this person, and I'm just using me as an example because I don't want to put anybody but in general, you know, you meet that person, you start dating them, and those things come out, right? You guys are talking, you see that person interact with other people, and you realize, well, oh, she didn't F him over, or he didn't do this, or he's not, you know, purposely being ugly to her even though she did him dirty. So you get to see how that person interacts with their previous relationships. And you get to be able to say like, that shows genuine character in that person. Because no matter how bad somebody does you don't want to change who you are because of what they did.
Yeah, I think with me, I've been in a situation where, you know, we split, we had stuff together at a place or whatever. I left everything in the crib. When I came back, everything was gone. But I think that was a good thing for me because.
Were you coming back to get stuff?
No, I was just coming back. I was resuming the residence at that point. Like I left for a few months so that, you know, the other person can kind of get their things situated, get them in place. And I was resuming my apartment back.
Oh, so you thought you were walking back into like a park?
I thought I was gonna get some of my stuff. I literally walked in there, no soap, no toothbrush, no paper towels, no toilet paper, no trash bags, no garbage can.
A fresh apartment.
It was a frame to a bed.
It was like, you want a fresh start? You got one.
And in a dresser.
That's terrible.
That was it. It was like plates, knives, forks, spoons, pots, butter, sugar, canisters, all gone.
Yikes.
And I walked in, I just looked around like, it was clean though. Like, it was all pulled out and cleaned up. Like somebody was moving out the apartment. And I looked around like, I worked really hard for a lot of that stuff. But I was like, you know what? I would have probably sold it anyway. Because I don't want to be reminded of the things that we had together. So I'm like, you know what? It's best that you took it so you can constantly be reminded, not me. And, oh yeah, the mattress was gone. Like the mattress and box spring was gone. I'm like, I guess I'm going to be sleeping
Air mattress.
on the floor. No, I went and got a mattress and box spring that day.
It's a joke.
I had almost had to sleep on the air mattress. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. But in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Take it. You need it more than me. And I would probably sold it anyway. I would have sold it the wood way. Because I don't want to be reminded of
So
it.
with situations like that, so now that we've talked about like all the horrible things that can go wrong in this process.
Right.
What do you do with your mutual friends?
I let them choose who they want to be with, man. Are we cool? We just won't hang out together. Like,
When you
me,
like,
you, and her, we're not hanging out
whose
together.
friend are you? Are you their friend or are you my friend?
You'll see it though. Like, you'll see who is like your friend for real because they'll be around you a lot more than the other person. And they'll try to make you guys figure it out together. Like, I need you guys to work together and work on this thing. You're like, no, it's done, it's finished. Thank you for your, input, but I'm good. And then you'll see if they hang around you more of them. And I also think that if I brought friends in the relationship, these are my friends, man. Like, get your own people, y'all.
So I've had the unique situation of breaking off a relationship and either having a situation where I'm wondering whose friend they are. Like, they hang out with me, but they hang out with them too. And you're like, wait a minute. Because then you're wondering what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, especially if they hang around you and they talk about them sometimes and you're like, come on, please don't do that. Because I don't want no static, right? So there's been times where I've either had to do the choosing by saying like, look, we're cool. I'm your friend. However, because I can see that some things put you in the middle. As a friend, I feel like being a good friend, if I gotta be the bigger person and kind of let go of my friendship with you, and not to say like we're not cool no more or anymore, but to say that me and you probably can't spend as much time together, because for me that compromises my trust in you as a friend. And to keep things civil and cordial and to still consider you a friend, I'd rather just back up if you're always over there. You know what I mean? And I think that it became hard for me to like trust people, to like look at that like if it was a genuine friendship, because there were times where every time you break up with somebody, your life has to change significantly, right? The habits that you have, the people you hang out with, the things that you do. And I had situations where if it was ugly for a period of time or something, it's like, oh, you were doing this or you were doing that or you were with this person or that person. And then you're like, where'd you get this information from?
You should be worried about your ex anyway. I think that's corny. Like, if you break up, like, they'll come reporting back to me what she's doing, man. Like, I don't really care.
But you're thinking maturity.
But only if I really want to still be with you. Like,
Exactly.
if I want to be with
you're thinking maturity and you're thinking, like, this is the person who is accepting the fact that this is a breakup and we're not going to be together, and I'm dealing with that and I'm okay with that. That's not always the case.
I know it's not always. It's just, to me, it just sounds funny. Like, your friend's coming back, hey man, I want you to let you know, man, she was at the alley wilding out. She had a few drinks and You know what I mean? You should. Like, I don't really care about that. You know what I'm saying? But I think friends are very sticky anyway. They'll let you know who they rocking with, and don't feel no type of way. Like, there's other people. So I mean, allow them to choose on their own where they feel more comfortable, but make it very clear. Don't become a spy. Like, don't come in here and start reporting things to me and to them, because now what you're becoming is not a friend. You're a gossip queen or king. I don't need that part of my life. If you're here genuinely to kick it and hang out with me, cool. And don't ask me about when we're going to get back together. Don't do that part either.
That's why I said, like, if you're the friend, if you're the middle friend, I think the best practice is to not bring up that relationship or those issues at all.
Right.
One, it's none of your business.
None of your business.
Two, outside of saying like it's gonna be all right, or you're gonna get through this, or if I can help you in a supportive type of way, in any kind of way, you could let me know, that type of thing. But outside of that, I just wouldn't even comment.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it gets sticky, it gets crazy. You don't want somebody interpreting something one way or the other. So I would just...
It's none of your business.
So what about family?
Stop coming around the crib. Like, don't call my brother. Don't hit my dad up. Don't call my cousins. We not cool no more. Like, I mean, you can still be cool with your ex and cordial if that's y'all type of thing. But I think when you start really trying to still insert yourself into the family, like, that's weird. How can you still be want to insert yourself in my family and dating somebody else? Like, you have an opportunity to do that over there. I think when you're doing that, you're trying to still stick around and see what could go down. And you're being nosy still because you know your family's gonna tell all your business, man. You know, Prince out here, you know, he got about 2, 3, 4 of mine, and he's like, really? He moved on like that? And then, you know, you're all in your feelings. Don't do that to yourself, baby. And guys, it's even worse for you because they're gonna protect her by all means necessary. So any little bit of information you think you're gonna get out of them for that, might as well go ahead and hang it up. They're gonna protect the woman 100%. They may like you. You may have been the best guy she had. Doesn't really matter. Something happened. You screwed up. She screwed up. You're no longer together. Move on. I just think.
So your advice would be separate yourself from the family.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. If you see your family in person,
hi.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good to see you. Hug them. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah. You should come by the house sometime.
Baby.
Alright,
take care.
Take care of yourself. And that's it. Like, no, I'll be over there. Y'all do what y'all doing for like Sunday.
What day?
Y'all cooking?
What day?
Y'all cooking? Y'all watching
I'm
the game?
there.
Cool. The Eagles playing. I'm coming over. Like, don't do that. You and the dad man kicked it off. He liked you. You was a favorite person. You were part of the one he wanted her to marry. Doesn't matter. She has moved on. What happens is it gets weird when she brings
the new
guy around and you're in the living room.
And you compromise their relationship.
Yeah,
that's
like, cool. How often does this happen? Like, he's here all the time?
He's best friends with my dad.
Why are they always talking about him?
My dad really liked him.
He don't like me?
He kind of likes you, but...
See how that goes?
He really likes him.
He really likes him.
I mean, but it's not your fault. He's been around a long time.
Justice been here for 12 years. I don't know.
And while he's been here for 12 years, he's still building.
Yeah.
He's still building on his 12 years.
Yeah. He's solid in the game.
Yo.
Solid in the game.
He got a head start.
But but the thing is, it is traumatic to the family when you have somebody you like and now all of a sudden they're no longer around. I seen it happen with me. My parents, they used to love to invite the people that they liked the most for me back in, and I would pop up to the house. My mom, God rest her soul, she would call me and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm just getting off work. What's up? Hey, come by the house real quick. I got something to show you. And I will show up.
Kelly, stay right here. He'll
right.
be here in a few.
I will. He's on his way. I heard a whisper. My voice. What you talking about?
Kelly.
I get off.
I always liked Kelly.
She always loved, right?
Kelly was amazing.
I get over there and I'm like, whose car is this? I go in the house and
Kelly was so good to you.
they're sitting in the living room having to talk about
tea
me.
and crumpets.
And I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, what y'all doing? What is this?
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. How you been? You and such still together? Yes. Oh, okay. How long that's gonna last?
Are you happy?
Are you happy? What you doing later? Wait a minute. This is mom. Why are you encouraging this? But see, guys and ladies, I know this happens quite often because parents have in their mind that they see you with a particular type of person, and they found that in that person, and they want you to be with that person. They don't want you to be with Sarah. They want you to be with Kelly, and it is what it is.
Kelly's really nice.
Kelly was crazy, so that's why you and Kelly didn't make it. And you try to tell your mom like, yo,
Sarah's clingy. I don't like Sarah.
that's what your mom would say.
Yeah.
But Kelly's legitimately crazy, and you're trying to tell like, mom, I didn't tell you everything, but that's not what it is, you know.
But Kelly loves you so much.
Obviously, because she's crazy. Like you didn't notice. What she's doing right now is crazy.
No.
She's sitting here right now with you, going through the motions. Slightly a sign of crazy.
Kelly just came over here because she wants to see our family photo albums. I like her.
That doesn't make you feel like she's crazy?
No, I like her.
I don't know. I have friends. Stay away from family and friends.
Don't revisit your ex's family.
No.
The only time I could say like, so my grandmother, may she rest in peace. When I was young, you know, the boyfriends I had for like in and out. But I was young, so my grandmother was a superhero to me. But she was so sweet, and she talked to everybody, and she loved everybody. And I found that like around the holidays or Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, people would like randomly pop up just to say hi. And 90% of the time, I felt like they weren't really checking on me.
Yeah.
They were coming to say hi to grandma.
But that's like childhood years of.
So I kind of, there were some times where I was like, okay, if I never hear from you, and then you show up for the holidays with some flowers or something, I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever, Happy Holidays, I'm cool with that, that's fine. But like you said, I would not like come in, have a seat, have dinner, like don't plan dates, don't hang out with the brother, don't, like that's not cool.
That is weird.
If you're out, you're out. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. If you're out, you're out. Don't.
So what about at the point where you're like, we broke up yesterday, and you're like, there are things intermingled. There are like stuff at your house, stuff at my house. The unraveling process. Are we like, okay, we can still be friends, or is this just like unravel, get it done?
Depending on how that relationship ended. Like, you can still be friends with your ex. You just gotta know it takes time to get there though. Like, you can't go from intimate relationship to just only friendship. Why? Because there's feelings and emotions involved. There's physical attraction is still there. And then there may be some slight hurt. When you break up with somebody, even if it's a mutual thing, it still hurts. I don't think people understand that. This is somebody that you give energy and time to. It still hurts. If it didn't hurt, it wasn't real. So I think it should take time to get to the point of being friends. I need to be away from you for a while. I don't need to have constant communication with you for a while so I can get over some of the internal things I need to deal with. And then if we start talking again, we can be friends, because I know at that point, I don't want you no more. Like, I don't, the other parts of the relationship has died down. I moved on in my mind. And so when I see you, it's like, I genuinely want to know that you're doing okay. And that part is friends, but I'm not about to plan dinner dates with you and go grab coffee and donuts. So what we're going to do is, friend for me is, hey, I just want to check on you. How's everything been? How's everything over here? How's the fam? Great. Hey, I seen them, let's say, a social media post, saw something happen. I want to make sure you was good. You know what I'm saying? But that's the extent of like a friendship with your ex. I've seen like people that were exes that the relationship was weird afterwards. Like the friendship was weird. They were like best friends. They were better best friends than they were a couple, because it just worked better for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was too much pressure in the relationship, but the friendship was the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
They still went on trips together. They hung out with the significant others they had and everything, and just like it was really weird. It's like,
but I think you have to I think you both have to be in that place.
yes,
You know, like
I don't want you no more.
yeah, and I think that when you break up with somebody, if somebody's hurt or still want the relationship, I think it's important for that person to be able to take time and totally separate themselves
Yes.
and kind of heal.
Yes.
Because I can't be friends with you if, you know, whatever it was a month ago,
Yeah.
you were engaged in a full-fledged relationship
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, we could just be cool. No.
Yeah.
And not in an ugly way, but just you need time to like accept that what is it? Grieving.
Yeah, it's a grieving process.
And for the record, I don't mean like somebody died.
No,
but
the
for
relationship
anybody, yeah, but for anybody, and for those of you who don't know, when I say that, is like grieving comes in many shapes and sizes. You lose a job and you're grieving. You lose a relationship, you're grieving. You lose a friendship, you're grieving. Excuse me. That and it there's stages of grief that we go through. And they include, I mean, I'm not gonna line them up, but it's like acceptance and anger and, you know, understanding, like things that you have to go through mentally and physically and emotionally to understand that you're accepting that you had a relationship, it's over, and it's evolving into something else.
Right.
Because, you know, as well as I do, like people go through these moments of like, oh my God, I can't believe it's over, or now, I mean, especially when there are like kids involved, or, you know, how do I maneuver this? What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? And all of those things kind of take time to sort themselves out.
It can feel like a game to the other person too. When you're like, oh, we can just be cool. What are you playing? Like, what kind of game are you playing? I can't be cool with you. You know I love you, right? Like, you know that I still want to be with you,
and
right?
it kind of feels like a slap in the face.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're good enough to be my friend, but not my girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, you're good enough to be a friend, and you know I still smack you in the butt when you walk past. But that I don't get.
I think people have to learn. I think people really have to learn how to like be honest when it comes to ending relationships or providing somebody with an explanation or conversation. Now, I will say I've experienced it. I have a million friends who've experienced it a number of different ways. You get angry, you want to throw something across the room, or somebody says, okay, we're just, you know, we just don't work. It's not you, it's me. And that those kind of things, like, you know, you're an awesome person. You're just not for me. You can say that shit all day. If that person's in love with you, they don't want to hear that. And it's not something they're receiving in that moment. And it's almost unfair for you to expect them to receive it that way in that moment. And there are all kinds of scenarios you could talk about. You could say like, I didn't want to hurt their feelings, so I said it this way. Or I didn't want to do this, so I said it this way. I think it's important to have a very serious, candid conversation about how you're feeling and where your head is at and the kinds of things that substantiate whatever it is that you got going on. Yeah. Especially when you talk about dealing with somebody for a long-term relationship. Because it's like, if you come to the decision of, I don't want to be with you for whatever reason, or I don't think this isn't working any longer, or I feel like I've tried everything that I could try. The truth is, you don't owe anybody anything.
Right.
But I think the part of it that sometimes we don't take accountability for is like, what you do owe somebody is just mutual respect and saying, okay, what did I bring to the table here? What did they bring to the table here? And having a conversation of, I understand the way they feel, and let me try to be a little bit more thorough to give them some clarification. Or let me be a little more thorough in how I explain something. So this way, even if they're hurt or even if I'm hurt, everybody kind of understands where everybody stands.
Right.
Or the expectation, just like we've been talking about, of moving forward. You know, am I coming to get my stuff or keep my stuff? I'm not worried about that. Or, you know, please don't call my family. Or I think, and I'm not saying like all those things are gonna happen, but I think those are very mature things to do.
Yeah.
Because then you do get into these weird situations where you're going, I don't know if this is okay. And you don't want to call and ask permission. Yeah. Or you don't want to call and say, is this okay?
Yeah.
But if you really love and respect that person, it is, you do kind of owe that to the relationship in terms of we respect and genuinely care about each other. And let's just say this is how we're going to move forward. It's not easy. I don't think that's going to be easy for anybody.
It's not going to be easy. But I mean, I think what we're taking away from that part is just communication, the best you can, understanding. But I think, and another part of this is that me personally, I've been in relationships where when we broke up, I was just petty. I did petty things. Like if I know you had something or I had something of yours, I just threw it away. Like I didn't hold on to it. Like, and I let you know I threw it away too. Hey, can I go? It's gone. Like I threw it away. It's out of here. Really? Like that was my mom. Give me that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gone.
Wow.
But because I feel like the only reason I did that is because I still wanted to be with that person, and they made it perfectly clear they didn't want to be with me anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I was just petty. I was like, you know what? Man, like you want to be with me? Cool, that's fine.
So when I was young, and this is years and years and years ago, I had a really good friend of mine, a guy. He was dating this girl, and she caught him in a very compromising situation, right? So he was messing with somebody, and he calls me. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm caught. Like he told me point blank. Like she called me. She told me she's leaving. I'm caught. And she said she's leaving. I was like, just go home and talk to her. They live together. Go home and talk to her. He was like, nah, I don't know what to do. Like, she's gonna spaz. And me and him were really good friends. We worked together. Me and her were cool because him and her were together. And she had called me and told me what happened, and I'm gonna kill him, and whatever, I'm leaving. So he was like, he proposed, Amanda, maybe you should come with me. To kind of avoid any craziness in the house so they could sit down and talk. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Show up to the house, she's not there, she left, for real. She took literally half of everything. And when I say half, I mean, she left him one fork, one spoon, one knife, one plate, one cup. She left almost nothing in the house. She cut blankets in half. She cut pillows in half. She left him one of every shoe. I was almost in tears laughing, and it was super petty. But she was hurt, and it was funny to me.
Sometimes it gets like that. Like when you feel hurt and you feel like
you willing to do some really petty.
It does get petty. It does get petty. I don't advise it for people. Like now that I'm older, I probably wouldn't do that. I just like come get your stuff, but. It's legitimately, I can see that. I probably would have done that. Like,
and I've never personally done it, but the only reason why is I have an older brother, and I've seen some girls do some really trifling things to him, and I just always said to myself, like, I don't ever want to be that girl who like sets your clothes on fire, or like I just feel like when it comes to respect, I'm not gonna damage or break something that you've worked for because I'm hurt or angry. because when I saw it done to people that I care about, I was like, God, why would somebody do that? Like, that's so disgusting. And again, for me, it's my character, like who I am as an individual. Like when somebody asks, oh, have you ever done this before? People ask questions like that for a reason. When they say, have you ever done this before? They ask you those things on purpose to see if that's something that you are capable of doing. I will not say like nobody has the capability of changing or growing up or not, doing things that they used to do. But I pride myself in saying like, that's not something that I've ever done. Or because when it's not, then you know for a fact it's just not something that you will do.
Yeah, I wouldn't put your stuff on the front lawn. I wouldn't do that. Like I've seen that happen to people too. It happened to me. Like it happened to me. It was my fault though. I cheated. But I was young, man. I was like 18. I was young, but that feels bad and it's embarrassing. Like you're out there trying to like load a TV in the back of a truck. And all your stuff is like not really organized. Yeah, it's like, it's embarrassing. So I wouldn't do that to somebody. Like, even if it was a situation where, they did me dirty, I'm like, just come get your stuff. Make sure you get a U-Haul. Like, I wouldn't do that to you. Because all the neighbors in your business too, I'm like, what happened, man? It was good, man. I'm like, nah, it's cool, man. Like, I'm cleaning out the crib.
I remember my mom threw somebody's stuff outside in trash bags. Like from our house door, she was like taking their stuff and like whoosh, and I was like, everybody's outside.
Oh yeah, we getting all that.
Everybody's outside, like literally black trash bags, and get the F out and throwing stuff or whatever.
Well, she took time to put them in trash bags.
Yeah.
My stuff wasn't in trash
like
bags.
Straight clothes, just.
It was just like.
I mean, I've seen some pretty like horrendous stuff. I remember my little brother had somebody like cut up his shoes. Literally like where the tongue is, they like took like one of those big like industrial scissors and like cut up his shoes. I was just like, why? Like for what? And all you do really when those kind of things like start happening, all you do is create an image of yourself in this person's head, like who you are. And 9 out of 10 times, you wouldn't be doing that if this didn't like genuinely hurt you.
Right, they hurt.
And then you're like, I don't understand why they left. You just set his clothes on fire. Well, he needs to go buy a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's probably not worried about you right now.
He got other things to do.
He needs to get a second job.
Yeah. You got to figure out how he's going to get underwear for the rest of the week.
So, I don't think relationships are not easy for anybody.
Let me ask you this, though.
Uh-oh.
Sex with your ex.
Okay.
After y'all break up, what's the gap between like no more sex?
What do you
know what happens, though. You broke up. I don't want to be with you no more. Blah, blah, blah. Come get your stuff. You come in the crib. Let me talk to you real quick. What's up? I think this is the best for us. Cool. But look, before I leave, let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me just.
So what are you asking? Is it a good idea?
Is it a good idea? Like sex after a breakup, like with your ex?
I think.
Yes or no?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think it depends on what you're doing with that.
Because I had a situation where she was like, I don't want to have sex with anybody else, and I'm feeling horny, so I mean, I'd rather have sex with you instead of just a complete stranger. I don't want to be back with you. I just want to have sex with you.
Well, I think. See, here's the thing. I think if it's something where the two of you can do that without emotions clouding what you have going on, then it is what it is. But
Yeah.
I think that some people are just not capable, and I'm speaking for myself. I know I'm not a person. I don't take intimacy lightly. And I'm not the type of person that can be intimate with someone on any level and pretend like there are no feelings involved. So for me, not a good idea. Because for me, it's almost like restarting a clock.
Right.
For some people can say like, yeah, I could do that, no strings attached, not a big deal.
I think it's more guys. And I was gonna say, guys, not a good idea. Don't do it. To your point, most women that are like that. It's more emotion behind it.
Because then that brings up other stuff too. It's like you do it, and let's just say like, you know, let's just say like you, for instance, you come over. I say, yeah, I'm cool. We could do it. No strings attached. Whatever. You leave, then I'm like, Prince is an asshole because I feel like I was used, or I feel you knew I had feelings for you. You knew this.
You took advantage of that.
You took advantage of the situation because I couldn't whatever. I couldn't turn it down, or I couldn't say no because I still love you and I still want to be with you, and I don't want to like be hoeing it out. So and
you told me you love me in the middle of it.
Yeah, like it gets crazy, and then or you do. And then I'm like wanting you to stay, or
you know you ain't gotta go nowhere.
And for the record, just it is not so good that he will change his mind.
Nah.
FYI.
Nah, once a man has his mind made up, like sex becomes sex. It's not a restarter. He's more like, nah. I mean, I just it's good, but I still don't want to be with you. But a woman It's a little bit different for women, I would imagine, especially because you said the intimacy. A woman gives her body to a man. That's not light. Some women can say, yeah, I don't have strings attached, I don't feel nothing about it. But I truly believe if y'all already had a romantic relationship, it's something that was an intimate relationship, and y'all had another intimate moment, automatic in the brain, to your point, you're going to stay. When you're coming back, like, is this a one-time thing? Then you start overthinking it. Then you ask questions like, well, what can I do to make it better? And you do all these other things, and the guy's like, wait, man, we said we were cool, right? No strings.
And then when you get that response, right? So say you get into that situation, can we make it work? Can we fix it? I missed you. Whatever.
Bring your coffee to the job.
And he goes, no, I'm still in the same place.
Yeah. Now you've out of sex and feeling used, and you can't get it back.
I'm sad all over again.
All worse this time because you feel used
now you added something else to it.
Now you feel used.
And it literally reinvents the wheel of just healing and that process. If you need time to like, and that's not to say like people can't separate and come back together or kind of think things through, but if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because I think all the things in between just cloud people's judgment.
Yeah.
And then when it does get to that point and you say like, hey, look, how are you feeling about this? Or he just came through and smashed and left. Like, that feels cheap and disgusting.
Yeah.
And now I feel like he used me, he used my feelings as a way to get what he wanted, and who knows what else he's doing. And then you get into all that. Like, if he could do that with me, who else is he messing with? And now you're asking questions you ain't got no business asking, and it's none of your business for real because y'all are not in a relationship anymore.
Right.
So there are all these things that start coming into play, and like you said, the overthinking and the asking questions or what can we do, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to just if you decide you're moving on, or you decide you need time, or you decide whatever it is that you decide, stick to it. And if and when you have something to say say it.
Say it.
You know what? Like, be honest. I think that's the hardest thing that happens in relationships, breakups, get back together, discussions, whatever it is like people don't really say what it is they want to say because they're thinking about the other person, or they're thinking about how will it sound, or how will it look, or how will it look to other people.
Yeah.
You know, like my friends, maybe it doesn't seem like he's gonna do well with my family. Or maybe it doesn't seem like he's gonna do well with my friends. Or maybe it doesn't seem like he fits. Stop worrying about everybody else. And if you're gonna be in and put yourself out there. And when you decide to get out, say that and get out. Or if you're somewhere in the middle and you're confused, be honest about being confused.
Yeah.
Be honest about needing time, or be honest about whatever it is that you need, because you leave the other person involved in a vulnerable position too.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to them.
I do want to say this before we leave too. Just a helpful tip to those who are watching. If you've dated someone and y'all broke up, some time has passed, maybe a year or two, and they hit you up and says, hey, I just wanted to say hi, I'm in the area. Do you want to meet up for lunch or dinner just to kind of catch up? Don't do it.
No?
Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you why. Nobody ever just wants to catch up. I'm trying to see if there's anything there. If you see me, I'm smelling good. I've been working out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in town for like a couple of days. Do you want to like hook up?
What if you still want to be with that person?
Only if you want to be with that person. But if it's as simple like you came out the blue and I have not talked to you in 2 to 3 years, and let's say you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not a good idea to go on a date with them. Like, it's not, you like, look, it's great to hear from you. It would be nice to catch up with you, but I can't. And just leave it like that. You don't owe them an explanation of why. It's legitimately like, nah, I can't do that. But it's good to hear from you though.
And that goes back to what I said. Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
If you've moved on, say that. Like you said, you don't need an explanation. You just need to be like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear from you. It's nice to hear you're doing well. I'm doing well, but I moved on, and I don't believe that's a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
And I wish you well, and I'm glad everything's good. But to put yourself back, like I said, the same thing with the intimacy, the dating, the coffee, whatever it is, you put yourself in a situation where you're compromising your emotions and you're putting yourself out there. And if it's not a position that you want to be in to reinvent the wheel, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Now, if it is a situation where you want to be with that person and you're willing to put yourself out there to take that chance, then you do that. Again, something that you should be honest about. Because some people go back into a situation, oh, we're going to lunch to catch up. You get to lunch to catch up and you realize like, oh, he's getting married. I could have stayed home.
You could have stayed home for that.
Not a good look. You leave lunch in tears and shambles. Like,
feeling
don't, like,
distraught.
Don't put your, and it's as simple as saying like, what's the goal?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Why are we going to lunch?
You need closure? Or you can show up to lunch, you see her, she see you. Next thing you know, after lunch, I end up at the Holiday Inn, sweating and pushing.
Like,
pushing
what's the goal?
What's the goal?
Be honest.
If you hit me up like, let's go out and have something. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what you really trying to get into? Because to your point, I got things to do. Like, and I can let you know right off the back. I'm not coming for that. Like,
time.
Yeah, I'm not coming for that. Don't just see what's going on.
We're too grown. We're not playing games.
Yeah.
Like, just say what you gotta say, do what you gotta do, and be honest.
And you may not even, she may not even look like she did when y'all dated. And when you see her again, like, oh, yeah, man, it's really great seeing you. And now it's awkward because you gotta tell her she doesn't look the same, or he doesn't look the same. It's like,
it was awesome.
You really put on some weight. It is what it is, man. But I hope this helped you all a little bit to understand what to do in this weird space of breaking up. It's
the gray area.
The gray area.
The transition.
The trauma area of breaking up. It's never easy, but biggest key point is communication, open and being honest. being very direct about what this looks like and what it's going to be, if it's okay for friends, family, all those other things we talked about. It's really up to you. Like Amanda can give you some tips, I can give you some tips. It's really up to you what works for you. It may not work for everyone, but just understand yourself and the things that works in your space, and that's it. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel right below here. You can follow us on social media, on Facebook at More Coffee, and on Instagram at Morning Coffee Show. You can hit me up on Instagram at P Hakeem.
And I'm Mandalove everywhere. Now. Mandalove on Instagram, Mandalove on Facebook.
Somebody do some rebranding.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make it easier for the people.
Yes.
And we're gonna put our email in there. So if you do have questions or
We'll put it down here.
yeah,
Hit us up. I appreciate y'all. Happy Thanksgiving to you, by the way. So.
oh, happy Thanksgiving,
It's that
happy
time.
holidays.
Yeah.
It's that time.
It's about that time. Eat a lot, buy a lot of stuff. I guess that's what you're gonna do.
Black Friday.
Not me. Ain't about nobody. No. It's what it is. Y'all take care until next time.